Welcome. Come on in.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the virtual open house. This is my home, and I'd like for you to enjoy all the decorations that we've put up. Something I do, obviously, I said annual every year, and wish you could have been with us. But I hope you enjoy.
Welcome to the office. In this room, we have 2 trees. They're both small and they're both very special for different reasons.
This is my patriotic tree. It's one that I started several years ago when I saw a tree that was decorated with these ornaments. And I thought, I can do that, but smaller. But I have to say, one of my favorite ornaments, actually, there's about 4 of them on this tree, is this little guy that my daughter made. And I get choked up when I think about it because she made it for the people that Eric was working with at the base, Air National Guard base, for those of you who may not know. And she made them as Christmas ornaments for Eric's people. And I was fortunate enough to get a couple of them. So that's important to me. I was taught a lot of patriotism in my family, mostly by example. So this room is kind of dedicated to my family. This tree I call my travel tree. It's decorated with ornaments from different places, whether they're different countries or just different areas. Like I even have one on here from Bass Lake and Yosemite, Disneyland. And they're ornaments that either I have bought while I've traveled around, some out of country ones, and like New Zealand, the Tulu sheep, or ones that people have given me from their travels, which means a lot to me to know that they thought of me when they saw pretty ornaments. So it's just kind of a cornucopia of world ornaments. This little one is very special. Ben and Hannah went to Denmark a couple of years ago, and Hannah collected these little shells on the beach as I pronounce it Skagen, and Hannah pronounces it Skane. And she made them, put them together because I stood on the same spot she did, but a whole bunch of years ago. So that one is very special to me. And just more from all over.
So this whole shelf means a lot to me. This room means a lot to me. There are lots of pictures of our family, many generations of our family throughout the house. But this one is great because my great-grandparents are here. My grandparents are here. My mother with her grandkids is here. My brother and me and these pictures. And this little guy, this gnome that I made for her after she struggled so hard with her health in 2019. But she was victorious. She fought hard. And we have this sign here. It says, trust and believe. I feel like that really sums up our family. We're fighters, and we do. We trust and we believe in each other. And I love that about our family.
Now we're on to the most logical room on the tour, the laundry room.
This is a pair of Santa's long johns. Sometimes he gets very cold or wet when he's coming down, and so I always have a pair of dry long johns for him. When my grandkids were little, I used to tell them that story, and they got so excited because they thought Grandma is a personal friend of Santa Claus, and he comes to visit her and talk to her. So long johns are up every Christmas for a little bit of magic.
You are in the playroom. Or the library. I don't know. Snowmen, books.
So I have a special treat for my brother who never gets to come to the open house, but we always think of him. This was his special Santa that was in his bedroom when we were growing up. There's lots of special memories around here, little hidden in nooks and crannies.
I'm showing you a lot of family stuff, it seems, but that's what Christmas is in my house. These two lovely little snowmen were made by Hannah and Ben, oh, quite a few years ago now. And there is a candle in them, but they painted them so dark you can hardly see that, but I know it's there. And so these are a treasure. This little thing, years ago, I worked at a tree lot for about 3 years, I think. And I found this in a catalog when I was looking for something to make for Deborah. And I couldn't believe it was a Christmas tree lot. So I made it. It's a music box, and it reminds me of my time in the cold in the Christmas tree lot. And one more thing is my daughter and Eric made these benches one year. And it fit so perfect in the snowman room, and I didn't have a snowman room at that time. But I just had to point that out because I think that's cool.
So this is the guest room and where we keep your coats when you're here for realsies.
And lots more memories in this room, especially this tree. This was my Christmas tree in my bedroom when I was a little girl.
This room, as in every room in this house, it seems like, there are family pictures. This one is my great-grandma Peterson, my mom's grandmother. And over in this corner, this is my great-grandma Orloff with her sisters and my grandma Orloff and my great-great-grandparents. And again with family, this was my grandmother's baptism certificate in 1887. I have to stop and think. And so we moved over to this side of the room. And this Christmas tree, these ornaments are well over 100 years old. Don't have anyone to verify it anymore, but I believe they came from Denmark with my grandparents when they came over here. And the bells were from the 1950s. So that's getting pretty old now too.
Sorry, I'm in the bathroom. Whatever, come on in. Welcome to the night garden. But if you come this way, it is the day garden.
Because of the way this bathroom was built, I can have a night garden and a day garden. Night gardens give you pale colored flowers, the moon hits them, and they almost turn neon. I've always loved the stars. I've always loved sitting by a river, looking up at the stars with the trees surrounding. Did that every year when I was growing up. So I had to have my stars and my night garden. Okay, since I mentioned that I have a day garden, I have a beautiful quilt a friend made and gave to me. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And since there's not room in this room for a tree, I bought this when I was in Curacao, and I thought this goes perfect in a room that can't have a regular tree.
I like that too, but I really love my moose. I always called it a moose. It's probably a reindeer, but doesn't it look like a moose? And he's always, my entire life, lived on the back of the toilet.
And here's the master bedroom. Has many trees, including most people's favorite.
I think this tree has just a lot of pretty ornaments on it. I'm going to turn this over to Hannah because this is her special tree.
All right, so this tree, this is my favorite tree in the whole house. So I've always loved it. I always thought when I was a little girl that it just glowed and it was just so sparkly and beautiful. And when I was 9, my mom brought me over and I was going to help Grandma decorate the house. I was so excited because I got to finally help Grandma with the trees. And she brought me back here and she had all the ornaments spread out on the bed, which were less than there are now, but like a lot of ornaments. And she turned to me and went, all right, you're going to get all of these ornaments onto this tree, and I have to sleep tonight, so make that happen. And I looked at that, I looked at the bed, looked at the tree, looked at the bed, looked at the tree, and I almost cried, but I didn't. And somehow I got them all on and nothing broke. And later, as I got older, Grandma told me why she started me off with the most fragile tree in the whole house and let a 9-year-old decorate it. And she said to me, well, I knew that if you could put all of these delicate ornaments on the tree and work up the courage to do it, and I knew you'd be careful, then you wouldn't be afraid of handling anything. And she was right. And so some years it's fun. I get to have friends come over and help me do this tree. And every time they walk in and go, we're not doing this tree. And I go, yes, you are. And by the time they're done, they can touch anything. They're not afraid of it. Some of my favorite ornaments on this tree are, we have these long ornaments, and then we have these little ornaments shaped kind of like this. And they are all blown glass. And they're very delicate. The longest of the kind of icicle-shaped ones is 15 inches. And it is the first ornament to go on the tree because everything must go around that. But really, one of my favorite ornaments on the tree is this one. No, I'm going to show it to you. Because this tree, trees tell us a lot, I think. The whole point of this tree is that it should glow from the inside out, and we're going to do it without color. It's all glass, gold, and silver. And so this little ornament, it's not very pretty. Like, be honest. It looks like it should belong in your, like, recycling, you know? It's a mass of silver wire, and it's not even that, like, pretty silver, and it doesn't even have a proper hanger. It's literally just, like, the plastic from the tag. And it kind of, if somebody just threw it on the floor, you would think it was garbage. And I think sometimes it's easy to feel like we're not right, or we're kind of funky or ugly or not worth anything. But if you take this ornament and you put it on the tree in just the right light, in just the space it needs to go, all of a sudden it glows. And it sends its sparkles. You can see those sparkles from all over the tree, and it affects the rest of the tree. So you may not know where you're supposed to be or what your effect is going to have on other people, but it matters. And that's my favorite thing about this tree.
This nativity, I'm just going to give a quick mention. It was the first one I bought when I was first married to Deborah's father. We didn't have much, and there was a store called Value Giant in Livermore. And I think I paid like $6 or $7 for it. And it's been one of the most precious, or the most precious nativity that I have.
And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today, in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger." Suddenly, a great company of the heavenly host appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth, peace to those on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby, who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told about this child. And all who heard were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart.
I like giraffes, and I keep my giraffe collection in this room. This is a tree full of berry brush animals. These animals are made from the brush part of the berry plant. The ones that are on this tree can be found in a meadow. That's the criteria. Now, when we see the big tree, you'll find other berry brush animals, but they don't live in meadows. This tree is a little different than what you think of as a Christmas tree. But these ornaments are made by the Danish company Bing and Grindel. I started the collection when they first came out with them, so it's that many years ago.
Welcome to a beautiful kitchen for a woman who doesn't cook. Envy of all of her friends. And the tree of the kitchen tree. It explains itself.
The kitchen tree I started way back when I was still living in Pleasanton. I think it was the third tree that I put up. I just thought I sat in that kitchen so much and I was missing everything in the other rooms. So let's buy a tree. And I found some cute little kitchen gadget type ornaments and went, okay, I'm gonna have a kitchen tree.
And this one's my favorite. So get up everybody and sing or dance.
I'm
Dance?
legally
I
obligated
don't know,
to
we're out
film
of
this.
tune. We are out of tune.
There is no harmonizing
Nope.
because we are out of tune. But we love each other.
Yay!
In case you had any question what a white suburban Christmas looks like, this is it.
So, this is the parlor.
This is the parlor. I don't know who for sure named the parlor.
You did.
I thought you had a hand in it, or her.
It reminded you of your grandma's parlor.
It does a little bit. I guess it reminds me of my grandma's parlor because we're sitting on my grandmother's couch. And they bought it back in 1921, so it's 100 years old now. This tree in this room is full of family memories. It's called the family tree. There are photographs of my family on it, including the cameraman. And most of the ornaments either came from family, remind me of family. They're all very special ornaments. The candles are kind of a throwback to my Danish heritage. I was able to go to a cousin's house one year, and she is from Denmark, and she lit the candles on their tree so we could see them. And here I go again. It just brought back all these memories of my dad and my aunts and my grandmother talking about Christmases out on the farm. Okay, this, I guess my Santas didn't quite, I won't call it an obsession, but
We would.
everybody else probably does. I started collecting Santas kind of because I found a few I liked and I thought I should have a couple in my house. So most of this stuff, a lot of this stuff came from my home in Pleasanton. And it just kind of grew. So everything that's on these two shelves here in the parlor became totally Santa's. I had to move everything.
We love Santa.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I believe in Santa, so I have to represent him.
And I
A
learned
lot.
I learned very early on how to pick out when you're looking at different figurines a real good Santa, and it's all in the face. And the amount of conversations that I have had that would sound totally weird to other people, or the two of us sit there and go, well, I don't know, what do you think about his face? Well, I think he has a nice face, but I don't like his beard. The beard's a little bit off. Yeah, but he does have that right, the twinkle in his eye. Yes, no, that's right on point. But him, no.
But the historical Santa is historical Saint Nicholas is so significant and really worthy of appreciation.
And he's here too.
He is here too. And he loved children. He was always making sure that young maidens and children were cared for, sailors. He's a patron saint of lots of things. But at the core of it, he was a man who very strongly stood for his faith. He guarded his values and guarded the gospel message. And I think that makes him a good representation of a person to emulate.
This is the cat's bathroom. Wait, where's the cat?
This is called the cat's bathroom because when I moved here, I had a cat. And this was where we put her litter box. So it's become the cat's bathroom. Now what do cats like to do? They like to chase birds. So I've set up birds for the cats to chase while they're in the bathroom. And the kitties love chasing cat or birds.
Whoa.
We're filming the dining room. Just going to quickly point this out. These are napkins made out of crepe paper that were used in the 30s and 40s, I believe. And they seem to be all hand painted. They're absolutely interesting. Collection found in a great aunt's attic. So I was really happy to be the recipient of them. Down here, these are paper mache scenes. All the animals, their little house thingy here, are all paper mache. They're made by a lady who lived in San Rafael, and she had quite a following, it turned out. I inherited these and have been enjoying them. They used to be on the display at the museum in Pleasanton for many years. Then she did tree ornaments and little critters, little choir cats and all sorts of fun things. And this is one of my favorites, with the train going into the tunnel and the cat peeking out. And this one, I love this one. It's simplicity, but it's the cat staring at itself in the mirror. And there's just all sorts of variety, and they're beautiful.
It's not last, it's not least, it's most people's favorite part of the evening. Think of a critter? Sure, you're absolutely right. It's on this tree.
This is known as the Critter and Santa tree. Mostly critters, but there are Santas here to keep watch over them. A couple of the ones that are kind of fun, I will point out. I've some couple new ones this year. This one, I don't know why. If I saw it in the garden, I probably would not like it, but that's my new cricket, and I just think he's so cute. I have a platypus this year. And as the camera scans the tree, you'll see a jellyfish and a walrus and all sorts of things. But one of the things I really like, and there's a reason for it, is I have a couple of quail. Now, for those of you out of state that may not know this is the California Valley quail. It's the state bird of California. I grew up with the quail at the summer cabin in Santa Cruz every year and looked forward to seeing them with their little babies. And then when we got a cabin up in North Fork, I found quail again coming across the yard. So they're just kind of a special item throughout my life, and I think is one of the reasons why I started collecting critters, whales and eagles and chickens, oh my. I have to mention this is a Coca-Cola Santa from the 50s. This is what Coca-Cola Santas looked like then. And this little guy has been sitting on had been sitting on my mom's couch, sometimes in the dining room, but mostly on the couch. And you will see a lot of Christmas pictures taken in our living room at home with Santa peering over somebody's shoulder or above the head because they're sitting on the couch. Santa's on the back of the couch and he's looking over. But this is an old Santa. He's just fun. Just fun. So for tree 19 and the newest tree that I have, shape of it is called a pencil tree. And all the ornaments on here are round. I had so many beautiful round ornaments that always got buried in the trees because they were great light catchers, and I didn't get to enjoy them. So I bought this tree, and I'm running out of room because I keep buying ornaments. But some of these were ornaments from when I grew up, my mother's tree, and just all sorts of beautiful hand-painted ones. And I get to see them and enjoy them now on my pencil tree.
Well, that's the end of our tour, and I'm really excited that you got to visit with us a little bit this evening. At the end, we always like to invite you to choose an ornament from the basket that we have here. And there are lots of beautiful ornaments that are here. But since you can't actually be with us this evening, I hope that you will leave a comment below and tell us about what your favorite part of the house is. Maybe you enjoyed seeing Hope everywhere. Maybe you enjoyed some of the more whimsical things. And also, maybe you could share a memory or something special that you do or family tradition. We would love to hear from you. So from us to you, we wish you a very Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.